this moment, we're gonna discuss about the bank reconciliation statement. On the screen, you will see that that is an example of our pro forma. We will have the balance per books, and we also have the balance per bank statement ending. So this is as of for the month ended August 31, 2016. So if there is a difference between your book and statement or bank statement, so we have to adjust the balance. So let's proceed to, but first, let's identify what is the book and bank. So we have here an example. First, Eagle Repairs receive 1,500 pesos from Jane, and that bookkeeper recorded the amount as 500 pesos. This is a book, and that is also, or 1,000 will be added to the books. How? Because that is an example of credit memo. From the word or from the phrase, Eagle Repairs received 1,500 from Jane. When you say credit memo, addition by bank to depositor's account, but not yet recorded by the depositor. Again, addition by bank to depositor's account, but not yet recorded by the depositor. And for the number 2, Nation Bank collected from the customer of Eagle the sum of 5,000 pesos, representing payment of the said customer to Eagle. No entry was made in the books of Eagle. So again, this is an example of a book. So again, because no entry was made in the books of Eagle. And how much should be added? So from the clue I just said, it's added. So that is an example of credit memo. Because under the book, we have only credit and debit. So for the credit, we have 500,000 pesos. Nation Bank collected from the customer of Eagle the sum of 5,000 pesos, representing payment of the said customer. As long as it is a payment from a customer, so that is a book. And that is a credit memo. That is your analysis. And next, for again, how much should be added? That is 5,000 pesos. And for number 3, the bank teller deducted a check 123 for 3,500 pesos from the account of Eagle. The said check was issued by Eagle's company. For a moment, there's a typo. Okay, Eagle's company, a different depositor of the bank. So what is it? Is it a book or a bank? That is a bank. So 3,500 will be added to bank records. So it is added. So the analysis, that is a deposit in transit. Deposit made but not yet credited to the depositor's bank account. Bank teller deducted the check from the account. So that's why in the bank that is added. Okay? So let's proceed. For a moment, I will write the answer. So that is bank. And how much should be added? That is 3,500 pesos. And what is your analysis? That is an example of deposit in transit, DIT. Under bank, what we add is what we called debit deposit in transit. Okay. So number 4, the bookkeeper of Eagle recorded a check number 345 in the cash disbursement journal as 5,205. The correct amount of the check was 5,250. So, is it a book or a bank? That is an example of a book. Book because, I'm sorry. Yes, that is a book. Because 45 pesos are the difference between your 5,250 and 5,205 pesos is 45 pesos. So that should be deducted in our book records or in the record of the Eagles book. This one, that is a book. Now let's proceed for number 5. The deposits of Eagle earned interest of 100 pesos for the month. Eagle does not have knowledge of interest earned until it receives the bank account. So this is an example of a book again. Because in here, that is a credit because we added since the Eagle earned an interest and we have to put it or 100 pesos is added to the book records. So we have here, this is a credit memo. This is the analysis is a credit memo because we added the amount of 100 pesos to the book records. How to identify a book and a bank? If you're just going to notice, in number 1 example, Eagle Repairs received 1,500 from Jane. So that means your bookkeeper recorded the amount of 500. So we have a missing 1,000 in our book. So that's why we have to add 1,000 to our books as well. So that's why that's a book. For number 2, Nation Bank collected from the customer of Eagle the sum of 5,000 pesos. So that is collected and that is or there is no entry made in the books. So that also included to our book because we have to add what? We have to add 5,000 to the books of Eagle. Now for the number 3, the bank teller deducted the check 1, 2, 3, 4, 3,500 pesos for the account of Eagle. So the said check was issued by Eagle's company, a different depositor of the bank. So this is a bank because we have to add 3,500 to the bank records, okay? Next, we have here number 4. The bookkeeper of Eagle recorded the check number 345 in the cash disbursement journal as 5,205. So the correct amount of the check was 5,250. So we have to deduct. So we have to deduct 45 pesos because the bookkeeper recorded 5,205, right? But the correct amount, of the check should be 5,250. So we have to deduct 45 in our book records. Next, number 5, the deposit of Eagle earned interest. The Eagle or the company earned an interest of 100, right? But the Eagle does not acknowledge or does not have knowledge of interest earned. So that's why they have to write it in the book. They have to add it to the book records. So that's how it goes. This is credit memo. Don't forget, if the book, or if you will add an amount to your book, that is called a credit memo. But when it comes to deduction in the book, that is your debit memo. And in your bank, if that is added, that is your DIT, deposit in transit. And if it is a deduction, that is what we call the OC, or the outstanding check. Next, let's proceed an example of our outstanding check. For the month of May 2016, the company issued the following checks as recorded in its cash disbursement journal. So we have the check date, check number, payee, and the amount. For this one, for the day, um, so we have here check number 1256. The payee's name is Jane, and the amount is 2,000 pesos, of course, in the day of May 2nd. Next, we have here the rest of the check numbers. The 1257, 1528, 1259, and 1260. So for this, we have here Jane, May, Nicole, Kathy, and Perry for our payees, and the amount also given, okay? So now this time, we have to check. That is for the book. Now we have the bank statement. So as per the bank statement received by Tupe, the following checks were presented and paid by the bank. So this is the bank statement. We have check number 1256, 1259, and 1260, or 1260, and the payer's name. As you can see, there is a difference, right? There are some check numbers that is not or that are not included in our given here. So that's why, or that's when we have to identify the outstanding check. So we have here the check number, payer's name, and the amount. So we have the following. So we have the 1257, that is May, and the amount is 300 pesos. And for our next check number, that is 1528, that's Nicole, and the amount is 4,500 pesos. And now let's proceed to our bank reconciliation problem. So we have an illustration. You received your July 2019 bank statement, okay? The July to 31 2019 cash balance in your accounting books. This is your books. So we have 300,000 pesos, while the cash balance shown on the bank statement is 430,000 pesos. There is a difference, right? The difference is 130,000 pesos. So let's determine the following reconciling items. So we have to reconcile and check or identify which items to reconcile. But given we have the credit memo, debit memo, deposit entrance receipt, and outstanding checks. So let's have this for our bank per books. How much is it again? That is 300,000 pesos. I already changed the currency to pesos, so it will automatically change into pesos, okay? So you could just go to format cell, and check these symbols. Don't use the dollar, use the Philippine peso sign. Next, let's proceed to our credit memo. So how much is our credit memo? That is 190 pesos. And for our debit memo, that is debit, so that is less. So don't forget to put a parenthesis, okay? So that is parenthesis, so 30,000 pesos. So this is negative. If you're going to check this one, the value here is negative. How does it, how come it like it is negative? Because that is less, right? Deduction. We don't have a negative value for money. So we just have to put a parenthesis instead of a negative sign. So you could just, if you have a negative sign in your Excel, just go to format cell. Go to format cell and find the number. You have here negative, a red color, and this parenthesis. Just use this, the black, no, the black value. I mean the black color for the text. And now we have here the book errors. We don't have a book errors here, so just leave it blank. Oh, sorry. So just leave it blank. Now let's proceed to our balance per bank statement. Now we have here 430,000 pesos. So for our deposit and transit, that is 50,000. That should be added. Now let's go to our OC, that is less, so deduction. So we have here 20,000. Don't forget to put the parentheses, okay? If your answer is negative, if you see a negative sign, please change it because we don't have a negative value for money. So go format cell, go to this one, the black color inside the parentheses. Okay, good. So we don't have a bank error, so just leave it blank again. So we have here the adjusted balance. You would see that there is already an equal value. Don't forget, we have to make sure that these two, the adjusted balance is equal. So that would be all, everyone, and have a good day.